But first, the heroin drug trade takes a hit in Minnesota. Today, federal, state law and local law enforcement announced that they busted a major drug ring here.
It was run by a group known on the street as The Crew. The drug operation was based in North Minneapolis, but officials say that its customers came from the suburbs to the city to get a fix. Our Beth McDonough joins us live from the newsroom now with an inside look. Beth.
This is bigger than any one city or the county. Authorities say this was an elaborate and an efficient operation, and it was widespread. Authorities shared details of the takedown at the federal courthouse today in Minneapolis. 8 men were indicted for running a heroin distribution network in North Minneapolis called The Crew. Officers say they'd get the drugs from dealers in Chicago and bring packets back here to sell for $40 each. It's alleged from January 2012 until last month, they sold more than 5,000 baggies of heroin a month on the street. That's worth about $140,000. And here's how those deals went down. It was kind of like calling for a cab. Customers, usually between the ages of 15 and 24, would call one of several cell phones. Then a dispatcher would direct them to a street corner where another call would be made. Then a runner would show up with the dope and make the sale. The federal prosecutor compared the operation to a heroin sales force. He says the aggressive investigation and these indictments send a message.
You will face state charges. You will face federal charges. We are coming to all corners of the state to stop the trafficking of this poison and stop the deaths of our children and young adults.
Now, to that point, we checked with Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge this afternoon. It says admissions for heroin are up 1/3 this year over this time last year. That is huge. Lugar went on to say that these indictments are part of a regional response. The city, county, state, and federal agents, they're collaborating and connecting the dots, attempting to shut down the heroin highway from Mexico to Chicago and then finally here. We asked what's next. They said stay tuned. They're not done yet. Live in the newsroom, Beth McDonough, 5 Eyewitness News.
And law enforcement officials say that illegal drug users often start as prescription drug abusers because many people who get hooked on prescription drugs then turn to heroin for a cheaper fix. That has led to an increase in heroin overdoses. In Hennepin County alone, 56 people died from heroin just last year. That's compared to 8 in 2010. And this summer, a new law went into effect here in Minnesota, and it allows EMTs and police officers to carry Narcan, an antidote drug to counteract heroin overdoses. A second part of the law gives partial immunity to a person who uses or has heroin on them if they call 911.
We have new details tonight.